Child, so Pistol Pete did take it too far first. She went low, and Kenya took it to hell. Guess what? I hope hell got an unemployment office, though. Because that's exactly where taking it to hell gonna get you. Exactly. Girl, good morning. Good morning, Fred. Happy Monday. Before I went to work, I was like, child, let me tell them what I think about this episode real quick. Now, we can talk more in depth on my lunch break. But good morning, friend. Get you a little wake and bake, whatever you gonna do. I'm sipping my... Oh, it ain't even that much in here. A little coffee before I get to work. But I wanted to talk about this episode real quick. And we can tussle in the comments. We can tussle in the comments. Just make it cute. It's the beginning of the week. It's Monday. Exactly. Anyway, I hope y'all blessed. I'm glad y'all woke up this morning. We got a new week, new start, new days. But the same old shit. And mind you, I love me some Kenya. Love me some Kenya. I twirl all the time. Trust me. I twirl anytime I'm in a good mood. But we're not going to act like Kenya has always slut-shamed people. Did Kenya not slut-shame Porsha with the whole Bolo situation? Kenya has been that girl, which is crazy because she was the one who was so distraught because Porsha kept calling her a slut. But it's giving oatmeal pie face behavior. I'm sorry, Team Twirl. Y'all gonna have to tussle today. Tie your lace down tight. Because we got a lot to talk about. I'm sorry, but oatmeal pie face. You ruined your own event, poo-poo. I don't know. Do y'all feel differently about what Cynthia had to say now that y'all actually seen it? Because I feel like we heard what happened, da-da-da-da-da. But actually seeing Kenya in her nasty mode, I was a little taken aback. I was disappointed. And I know Kenya does the most. Kenya didn't, what did she do? She walked in whoever event with her booty cheeks hanging out. She walked in Marlo's event with a marching band. I mean, Kenya has done a lot of diabolical things herself. So for you to get on her and slut shame this girl as if you wasn't flirting with Apollo and all of the husbands your first few seasons and hopping in a damn pool with a married man, I don't know. Y'all. We're going to talk. We going to talk. Okay, so at the beginning of the episode, we see, we see Shamia, Kelly, and Brit. No, Shamia, Kelly, and Angela. No, Shamia, these girls, I don't know these new hoes exactly. No, so Brit goes over to Shamia's house. Angela is over there. It's nice to see Shamia and Angela kind of getting along or whatever, and they talk about what happened. Brit, that's her name. Brit comes over there, fresh face. She ain't got that much sleep. I know I acted an ass. She's very apologetic. And she's like, oh, I want Kenya to know that I don't mean no harm. And Shamia like, no, you need to tell her that. Kenya don't know you from a can of paint, pinch nose princess. What should we call her? Pistol Pete or pinch nose princess? The pit bull princess. Do pit bulls have small nose? I hate the way this bitch talks. I mean, I didn't even, and when I'm provoked, girl, I can't believe she didn't last it in Atlanta. Why the Rennie Rucci's of the world ain't beat her ass? You know what? This lets me know that Brit is very problematic. I still believe that Brit should have got fired because, first of all, Kenya didn't do anything to warrant this behavior. I'm on Kenya's side. She didn't do anything to warrant this behavior. You were just an obsessed fangirl. But remember when Brit was sitting down with her older sister and she said that her sister used to always have to come fight for her? It's giving you one of those little sisters that pop off at the mouth and start trouble and shit and think you can say anything. At the time, you had your husband there, so you felt like you could, this real life, and I got my pistol, and bam. But bitch, you are not Medea. You not Medea, ho. Tyler Perry does not employ you. The only person who should employ you is Michael Jackson estate. I'm just playing. So when Brit was like, I'm only like that when provoked, that means that you do this shit. This is it. This is your character. You with these shenanigans. It's giving you was drunk. You was talking too much shit. Now the next day you embarrassed. And now you trying to plead your case because you know they'll ostracize your ass from the group. Exactly. So she's very apologetic, yada, yada, yada. Then we get to Porsha and Kelly. They at Kenya's event and they like auditioning models and stuff. Porsha asked her, she was like, so did you disinvite her? No, she was like, did you invite her? And Kenya said, not specifically. And Porsha said, well, you didn't disinvite her. And she said, no. So that lets me know that Kenya, you wanted her to be there. Because if you were really afraid, if you really felt threatened, and this is Kenya's whole case. I was afraid. She said something about pistols. She threatened me. I was scared for my safety. If you were scared for your safety, number one, you would have disinvited her. You know Kenya. Kenya would have disinvited her, or at the very least, when Kelly got there, Kenya would have made a scene at the door with security, turned her away and embarrassed her. Or Kenya would have had extra security. I can hear Kenya in my head, security! Remember she kicked that dude off the island when he said something to Candy? She kicked Shamia and Porsha off of the boat. Kenya is known for calling security and kicking the motherfucker out. Even Cynthia said that. And this is my whole thing. If you were really scared for your safety, Kenya, when she got there, did you have security check her purse for a pow? Did you say, hey, security, this is Blicky Britney. If Blicky Britney get her, then check her purse, pat her down, stick a straw up her nose, make sure ain't no residue there. That's all I'm saying. That lets me know that your intent, that you didn't feel unprotected. Because if that was the case, you would have took the proper precautions to be protected. When Matt was threatening her, and Matt, you know, that crazy bodybuilder, that's how you knew Kenya really felt like she was in danger. The way she handled him. As soon as she seen him at Peter's event, she left. Oh no, security, y'all gotta get him. She went in her car. This is her event. Kenya would have 100% disinvited this girl, or at the very least, she would have turned her around at the door, embarrassed her, or at least made sure security, we didn't see security stop Brit and check anything. So if you really thought this girl had a pow, a blicky, if you thought she was going to blick something, then you would have made sure they checked her upon entry. But no, you didn't, because that wasn't your intent. Anyway, when she was sitting down there with Kelly kept saying, that's not her character. I never known her to act like that. I don't know. Kelly, I love you, poo-poo. I love you. Kelly gives me Chihuahua vibes, but she's cute, and I still like Kelly. But Kelly, this is my problem. I hate when a person say, I never know her to act like that. I never know him to act like that. People surprise you every day, B. What are you talking about? You're not going to see every side of a person. People be living next door to serial killers and have no idea. You didn't know that man was abusive until he dotted your eye. People surprise you every day. You get enough of vouching for friends. Enough people that prove me wrong in my life. I stopped vouching for people for certain things. Sexual things, sexual deviancy. You don't know what people do behind closed doors and what they wants are. Anger issues and stuff. You don't know. A person can be the nicest person in the world, but you don't know how they're going to act when they're angry. I'm one of those people. I have a horrible temper, and I'm happy, bubbly, and then as soon as my temper flare, people be like, ooh, Chad, I never deal with her again. And Britney seems like one of those types of people. So Kelly, you look foolish sitting here trying to vouch for this girl after she flew off the handle for something minuscule, which Brit kept saying, I was provoked. Honey, we didn't see that. We Casper the Friendly Ghost to the shenanigans because that's not what we saw. We didn't see that. We don't know that. Anyway, child, so Kenya is talking about, no, I'm not ready to apologize, to know this bitch, to apologize to her. I'm going to do a background check on her, and that's exactly what she did. Kelly is saying that she didn't hear her say this, but Porsha is like, hey, we need to run this back. We need to know exactly what she said, the context, and all of the things. Because Porsha and them was in the car by then when they was outside. Kelly was over there with Brit while Brit was ranting and was like, I'm glad I got, specifically Britney said she glad she got her pistol with her. As if something go down, I'm glad I got my pistol with me in case some shit pops off. That's what that gives me. I've seen a lot of people in the comments going in on Kelly like, she knew she was right there. She was right there. I don't know if y'all ever been turned to the max or been around some ghetto foolishness. But when shit is going down, if my friend drunk and going off and acting a fool, I might be so busy trying to calm her down, and it's a lot going on, I might not remember all of the shit she said. I might not remember she said she was going to dot her eye or she got her pistol with her or none of that. Because Kelly was so busy trying to calm her down and tell her to shut up and tell her her husband was there. So it's not crazy to me to think that Kelly may not have heard her. It was a lot going on. Anyway, child. So we get a little break from the drama. Angela is there. We see Angela. Her daughter comes over. I think it's Alora. Mari, exactly. Alora is Dr. Heavenly daughter. Anyway, beautiful daughters. I love to see these mother-daughter relationships. But this one, I don't know. And I like Angela. But some in the milk ain't clean, Angela. Some in the milk ain't clean. First of all, so her daughter comes over there and is telling her how she got into it with her grandma and her auntie about this car. And Angela and Charles takes care of her grandma. And I'm assuming the auntie lived there. She said her mom was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but she feels like she's cured. As a psychology major and a person who was diagnosed with a few mental health disorders, that it doesn't go away. It's not like I'm cleared for bipolar disorder. You know what I'm saying? Or come on, or even schizophrenia. Like, this stuff is like chemical imbalances and personality. Like, it's no. You can take medicine for it. You can go to therapy for it. You know what I'm saying? And learn how to better manage your manic and depressive stages. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much the gist of it. So it's given maybe her mama is still dealing with these mental health issues. And she just decided, I don't want to take my meds or whatever. Shout out to Kanye. I don't know what his diagnosis is, but you can see how when you're not under care, whether it's medicine or whether it's with a psychotherapist or something like that, how your manic stages can just totally fudge up your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so she's talking about that. And then Angela is telling her how she's upset that she went and got married. And didn't tell her, but they best friends. Y'all not best friends. And the daughter used to stay with the grandma until it became too much for her. I don't know this for a fact, y'all. I don't know this for a fact. But listening to this conversation and based on the context clues, it's giving Angela, you was out doing your own thing, chasing Charles Oakley, and your mom, and you dropped your daughter off at your mama house, and your mama with her mental health issues, or auntie, whoever was there, helping raise her, is the person who really raised her. And you came back in thinking, oh, we best friends. Y'all not best friends if you was really that mother figure. And that's why she didn't tell you, because you acting as a friend role, or came in late in life or something, or was that type of mama that maybe would come over and take your daughter shopping and doing all of the things and not there with her every day because she living with her grandma. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know the ins and outs, but I do feel some type of way when I hear that a woman didn't raise her kids full time. I'm sorry. That's just me coming from a group of strong women who raised their kids and stood 10 toes down. I will always stand 10 toes down for a woman who keeps their kids with them. Case in point, I got a homegirl moved down here with her 6 kids. She lived in a shelter for a little minute. Now she got a big house with all of her kids. I respect her to the utmost because I know a lot of girlies would have left their kids and then did, and different strokes for different folks. But I respect her more because she stood 10 toes down, and wherever she was at, her kids was at. They struggled together. She loved them and did whatever it took. Shout out to my single mamas. Exactly. Shout out to all the mamas out there doing it. I don't know if Angela necessarily a good mama, but that's neither here nor there. We also see her with Charles and shit in the kitchen. I still like Charles. I don't know why everybody don't like Charles. Charles seemed mean. He ain't for that bullshit. He really ain't trying to hear what's going on with the mama, the grandma, and her family. And he kind of fed up, and I feel him. If you taking care of a motherfucker, I don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry. If you doing a lot for somebody financially and they still talking shit and getting on your nerves, you'll be like, get that foolishness out of here. Let me fry some chicken, child. So I still like Charles. He gives me older, no nonsense type of man. If Angela like it, I love it. Exactly. I feel like it's a lot going on with Angela, though, that we don't know. Or, I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested, though. I want to know what's really the tea with Angela. I hope we see her sister and her mama and everybody. But we'll see. Do y'all think Angela was a good mama? Why wouldn't your daughter tell you that she got married? I would never. Like, you know what I'm saying? Usually that's something that you want to share with your mom. Like, hey, mom, I got married. Let's celebrate. I don't know. Anyway, so then, what else? So then we get to the event. We at the event. Let's talk about the fashions. Angela Oakley has on this little green number with the keyhole. Angela body is banging. Angela body banging. I said I got Angela. I ain't necessarily like her hair, but Angela body is banging. Cynthia comes in looking very much fine ass Cynthia Bailey. Her dress was kind of basic to me. It was black with a little, what is that called? Like Navy military type of style with them little buttons. I'm not sure what the style is called. I thought Cynthia looked cute. Who else? Shamia had on this, I think it was like a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton, like two-piece tennis skirt set. It was white. I remember when I first saw the pictures, I was like, what the fuck do Shamia got on? But I can see, it was like trendy. It was trendy. I wish she would have dressed it up a little bit more because we had a grand opening. Kelly looked really cute. I love her little two-piece powder blue outfit. Kelly looked really cute. She looked really, really cute. I liked her shoes. I didn't like Brit's outfit. I noticed Brit always got on that little sailor hat type of deal. Like, is that your style, Pooh? I don't like that. I ain't like that. I don't know where her dress is from. Maybe her dress is like name brand or something, but it was like black with a bunch of buttons or something on it. I didn't really care for it. I liked Porsha's number. It was kind of backless, really, really cute. Two-piece little black thing. Porsha looked really, really cute. Who else am I missing? Mingley was there. I wonder why Candy wasn't there. Candy must have been somewhere working. You know, she got 1,000 jobs, child. And then Kenya pops out. Kenya look good. Now, Kenya, I'm going to give it to you, bitch. You looked good. She had a long floor length purple. I love when brown girls wear purple. Like, it just looks so good on our skin because it's such a rich color. You know what I'm saying? Kenya looked so good. Her hair looked really, really good. You can tell it was natural. She probably had some extensions in the back. Big curls. She looked fabulous. She did look fabulous. Which is sad. Why did you waste this on this? Anyway, girls. So all of the girlies was wondering whether or not Brit was coming. So Kelly and Brit was on their way there. Kelly had flowers. She was nervous. You know what I'm saying? I think she should have called Kenya or tried to go to lunch with Kenya beforehand. But even if she would have did that, I don't think Kenya would have went to lunch with her because I think Kenya wanted a moment. Just like Kelly wanted a moment. Brit wanted a moment with her. I feel like Kenya wanted her moment. Like, Kenya was giving, oh, bitch, so you want a moment with the queen bee? Let me give you a moment. Let me give you a moment. And in any other circumstance, I'm down for it. Y'all know how I feel. I'm definitely team Phaedra. I'm a Phaedra type of girly. Don't do shit to me, but if you do shit to me, you can't police how I react. Now, with that being said, you're going to have to face the consequences of how you decide to react. Kenya is 50. I'm so sick of people. I've heard so many people like, well, if production would have did something, then Brit would have never been there. Yes, production should have stopped filming with Britney. However, they didn't do that. So as an adult, you need to assess the situation and say, hey, do I want to ruin my grand opening that I've been dying to have because they didn't film it last season? Do I want to do that? Do I want to risk losing my job and my platform when I already 400,000 in the hole because of this? That's just like me if I'm at my job and somebody goes somebody say, I'ma beat that black bitch ass. And I go to HR and they don't reprimand her. And I see her at work the next day and I walk past her desk and be like, whatever, Susie, and pour chocolate milk all down her face. Y'all know I didn't thought about doing this before. And I pour chocolate milk all down Susie's face. I'm still gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired, whether they fired her or not. You gotta decide, do I want my job? And in this instance, Kenya didn't make the decision that she wanted to keep her job. Or she could have still clowned her, but not at her event. Kenya made a spectacle and she did it intentionally. So this is on Kenya. Anyway, so we get in there. Miss Lawrence comes. Shout out to Miss Lawrence. He gave Kenya all of her flowers, all of her credit. He always speaks highly of Kenya in interviews. I watched this interview with Carlos King. It was really, really good. And Kenya, after this, Kenya penned a message like a goodbye post on Instagram. And she said, Miss Lawrence, in her thing, she was like, thank you, Miss Lawrence, for coming, yada, yada, yada. She said, me and you cried together last season when we spent all of that time and money on the grand opening and it wasn't filmed. So that tells me this. Last season, you filmed this because she had a soft opening last season, remember? But they didn't film it. And you said you cried your eyes out. So was this more about you trying to make a moment to make sure that your grand opening got filmed this year? Because last year it wasn't and you cried your eyes out. That's what you said, Kenya. So it was less about Brit threatening you with the pow pow because you didn't get any security. You didn't disinvite her or anything. You made sure she was there, waited until she was there, and then proceeded with your presentation because your biggest concern was making sure that your grand opening made it to air with us. That's what that tells me. That's what that tells me. So this is more about Kenya and her spa being filmed than her feeling like her life was in danger with Brit. Which that don't negate the fact that Blicky Britney still need to go. You still need to go, ho. I'm sorry. Anyway, so we at the grand opening. Before everything go down, child, Drew comes up to Porsha. What did Drew have on? I forgot what Drew had on. Maybe it was unforgettable. Anyway, so Drew comes up to Porsha and she's like, Porsha, we need to talk. I don't want Dennis. I'm in the midst of a divorce with a crazy, deranged basement boy. You see what I'm dealing with the YouTube shit, bitch. I'm dealing with Simon cousin Ralph Pittman. She was like, and you can have his hot dog. That was that was Drew's first mistake. Now everybody talking about Porsha was wrong because Porsha didn't want to talk to Drew once again. But if I'm mad at you about a situation and you come up to me trying to be cute, talking about you can have his hot dog. And then she proceeded to say, I don't want to have any fake interactions, so and so and so and so on. And Porsha like, no, that's crazy. We could have had this with a simple phone call. And Drew already said that she never called Porsha. She kept trying to set up dates and text Porsha. Mind you, Porsha, you should have called her back or, didn't cancel at Nobu and all of the things. But then Drew gonna say, we did have a conversation. We did. Didn't we talk at so-and-so? Didn't we talk at so-and-so? Then Drew tried to be cute. Y'all know how player PB. I'm sorry. If you done already pissed me off, you trying to have a photo shoot with using my brand and don't tell me. You already filming with my baby daddy. And then you like, well, didn't we have a conversation? Baby, Porsha said, okay, you keep talking like you singing. Porsha said, I can make you ring. Porsha said, I can make you ring, bitch. Simmer down, grasshopper. Simmer down. My bad. When she told Drew that I can make you ring, it reminded me of Porsha. If she would have bopped Drew in the head and Drew slid down, and you know how they had them little Tweety birds going around your head and your head be ringing? See? I need y'all to give Porsha some credit. She didn't want to talk to Drew because Drew is the type of girl that'll make you pop her. Even if she decided to go to the side and have a conversation with her, if Drew like, well, didn't we? Let me dot your eye hole because you need some straightening. Drew needs some straightening. Drew was playing in Portia's face. Drew didn't want to have a real conversation. Or Drew maybe felt like, bitch, I done tried. Now it's time to act cute. But Drew, if Porsha beat your ass, then y'all gonna be talking about Porsha wrong. So don't be out here acting a fool. I don't support violence. Exactly. Nevertheless, I don't support violence. I don't support Pistol Pete, and I don't support... Yeah, so I don't support Porsha knocking Drew head in between the wall or knocking the Mario coins out of her. Anyway, so let's talk about the nitty gritty. So Kelly comes in. No, Kelly and Britney get there. Brit comes in with her flowers. She tries to talk to Kenya. Kenya walks out, totally ignores Brit, act like Brit don't exist. Notice Kenya didn't call security. Kenya didn't do none of that. So as soon as Kenya paid Brit dust, Brit gets her shit and walks out like, bitch, I tried. I'm finna get the fuck up out of here. But notice Kenya waited until Brit got there and she saw Brit to go up and do her speech. And it's amazing how many friends I done. No, it was giving Nene Leaks though. It was giving Nene Leaks. Anyway, so she went on a rant, and this girl tried to come for me because I am that bitch, I was that bitch, and I'll always be that bitch. And she had a pistol, and this is what she did. So I got to know some shit about this bitch. And everybody looking like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody was looking like, what the fuck going on? Then this bitch proceeds to come with the first cardboard board that says, who is this hoe? And she has pictures of Britney, I'm assuming the back plastic surgery, like how she used to look versus how she looked now. Brit was pretty though. Brit was pretty. I seen a picture of her and Rick Ross and some older pictures when I was trying to research her modeling agency, because remember the girl said Brit stole her money or whatever. Anyway, Brit was pretty. That was the first slide. So everybody like, oh, they like bracing themselves, and Porsha like, oh shit, if this is the first slide, we don't know what the fuck getting ready to happen. They already know how Kenya is. And when Brit first got there, she said, you are okay. I mean, they were talking, and Porsha was like, you okay because you ain't been disinvited. I know about that. And even Cynthia said she would have uninvited you or called security or something. That's what everybody was thinking. That's the logical thing to do if you feel like your life is in danger or you don't fuck with this bitch. So then Kenya proceeds, Brit walking down the street by now. Then she proceeds to get the second slide and was like, and she used to be a video hoe. I mean, I used to be a video hoe, but I was the main girl. Kenya, that's the point. Both of y'all was video girls. Kenya, you didn't have the most squeaky clean persona. Kenya first blockbuster hit was Twirl. Do y'all remember Twirl? That first big movie that Kenya was in was called Twirl. Kenya was the hoe. And we saw Kenya, you know what I'm saying, in salacious scenes. Like, Kenya was known for being the it girl. She was fine, she was sexy, and a lot of the images that we saw of her was given very much King magazine. So how is you talking about Brit? Y'all literally one and the same, except she not Miss America. I'm sorry, Team Twirl. Anyway, so the last slide, as soon as she pulled it up, everybody like, oh my God. So apparently they blurred out the images. It was pictures of Britney with a glizzy in her mouth. I learned that from the young boys. So a glizzy is a hot dog, a zick. So apparently Kenya had blown up the pictures of her with a glizzy in her mouth. sucking on the da-da-da, and immediately you see everybody in the audience. They appalled, they disgusted, they all of the things. Cynthia packs her shit up and she's like, you know what the fuck? I ain't got time to see this bitch getting sucking dick today. You could tell Cynthia was immediately pissed off and disappointed in her friend. And she told Kenya that before she left. She like, excuse me, love you, boo. I wish you would have handled this differently because I have more respect for you. You have more class than this and you're better than this. Porsha left. Even Shamia was like, you going too far. Kenya was unhinged in this moment. And it's not a lot of times that you see Kenya unhinged. Even when she's dragging a bitch, Kenya usually maintains her composure and just checks you. Kenya passion behind it and the way she was saying it. And even when Kelly tried to keep the card, she was like, no, and you stay out of it. And Shamia also was like, you taking it too far. She was like, no, bitch, I don't want to hear it. I was like, wow, Kenya was really, really heated. I feel like Kenya felt disrespected more than she felt like she was in danger. And she rightfully so, because Kenya came in trying to be the nice guy. And I know how it feels to try to come in being nice when I ain't got to start out nice. Like, Kenya didn't have to start out nice. She could have been a mean bitch and been on some hazing shit. But is this Kenya karma? Look how she did Kim Fields for no reason. She did Kim Fields the exact same way Brit is doing her. She was mad because Kim Fields ultimately didn't work with her the way she wanted to work with her. And she was a fan of Kim Fields. And when Kim Fields didn't reciprocate her energy the way she wanted her to, she then started attacking Kim Fields and even pulled the chair from behind her. It was borderline assault. She pulled the chair from underneath her. She got physical with her. A lot of people said Kenya should have got fired for that. Now, Brit was dead wrong as well. They should have fired Brit. And I just feel like we're grown, though. If shit don't happen in your time, then you have to wait until the shit plays out. I think Kenya is older than me. Kenya is half 100. Everything don't require you to act on it or get revenge. Sometimes you gotta let God handle your situations for you. And trust me, he'll do it. He'll do it. As you get older, you realize that. I used to be on my Scorpio shit all the time. If you do something to me, I'm gonna take it to hell, and you will never do nothing to a bitch like me again. But as you get older, you learn that you don't have to do that. Sometimes you got to let God handle your situations for you. And if Kenya would have did that, then maybe her grand opening would have been a success. And if she wouldn't have took it to hell, Kenya took it to hell. That sounds cute. That sounds cute on the internet. All of the comments, Kenya took it to hell. That sounds cute. But in real life, she ruined her grand opening. She got fired. Now you don't have a platform to promote all of your stuff. And a lot of networks may not want to work with you because a lot of people really feel a certain way about Revenge P. And y'all could argue in the comments about whether or not it's considered Revenge P. It was already out there publicly. But if you disseminate, I think Revenge P is defined as disseminating personal information as far as like sexual or nudity or something like that without the consent of another person with ill intent. A lot of the law, probably like 90% of the law, my lawyer girlies, please correct me in the comments. 90% of the law is about intent. Your intent means a lot. Your intent is the difference between murder one and manslaughter. Intent has a lot to do with it. And in this instance, I feel like this could be classified as Revenge P because Kenya had malicious intent. It was already out there, but you disseminated that information in front of a group of her peers with malicious intent. If I blew up a big ass picture of you with your titties out at work, what you think they'll do to me? I'm sorry. Kenya 100% deserves to be suspended. And I love Team Twirl. Love you, girly. Love you, Kenya. But you damn sure need to get suspended. Do y'all feel differently about the whole Cynthia thing? recently Nene came out. Well, they have a clip that resurfaced from Watch What Happens Live when Kenya was talking about if your friend do something that you don't like, you still don't side with their enemies. Now, Cynthia, I understand where you coming from. Check your friend. In this instance, Kenya was dead wrong, and if she was my friend, I would have been disappointed too. But the type of girly I am, I would have took you to brunch the next day, fed you some mimosas, and proceeded to go off on your ass and tell you, bitch, I love you to death. But that was some low brow shit. You just shouldn't have did that. You should have or did it at lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. But they said that Cynthia was underneath Brit's post with heart emojis and shit. Now that's some fake ass shit. Now the fake friend shit, I don't go for a walking or riding. I'm just not there. I'm not there. Anyway, y'all. So tell me what y'all thought about the episode. Is Kenya vindicated? Just last week we was talking about Kenya was vindicated. Nah, I'm sorry. You went from being in the right to being in the wrong. Britney stayed in the wrong. Brit, I'm sorry, girl. Nobody likes you. That's it. That's all. Nobody likes you, friend. Nobody likes you except for Porsha. Porsha still co-signing Brit. I want to see, did Brit really say something about Shamia's daughter? Now, I ride for Player P all the time. Y'all know I'm team Porsha to the wheels fall off. But Porsha, if you still cool with Brit and Brit did say something about Shamia's daughter, then nah, bitch, you wrong too, P. You wrong. I don't know, child. So are y'all still gonna watch now that Kenya is gone? I honestly feel like production did play a role in it. Kenya was talking shit about production, and I feel like they wanted to usher in a new villain. Introduce Brit Eady. Nobody likes Brit Eady, but I think Brit Eady will be back next year. How everybody's saying Brit won't be back, I think she will. Because I feel like they ushered Brit Eady in to be the new villain. The new Kenya Moore. We might not like it, but I feel like that's what the tea is. You gotta have a villain of the show everybody loves to hate. I don't know, friend. I'll talk to you on lunch. Make sure you subscribe, like the video. Let me know if you team Twirl, how you feel about this. Are you disappointed in your girl? Brit definitely should go. What y'all think about the Porsha and Drew stuff? Was Drew antagonizing Porsha, or is Porsha dragging it? So keep it cute in the comments. Please don't be disrespectful in the comments, especially towards my other people, or at me, friends, so I can black her. Exactly. Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say, but say it respectfully. Don't take it to hell, because you're gonna end up in the employment line with Team Twirl. Anyway, bye, friend.